There we go. All right, so just a reminder, guys, Monday is the day we'll be going over the shooting schedule and the second scene mimic. So if you guys are able to do it by then, that's when we'll be going over it. If not, if you still want to do it, you can do it, but we won't be going over it in a meeting.
I was gonna ask you, honey, Monday, will we be recording because we will be out of town?
Yeah, we can record it from your laptop now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just so I know. Okay.
Yeah. And then there's just like we said, next Thursday is the last meeting. We'll just be talking about next semester, what the topics will be the subjects will be that we're going over. And then that's it. And then we're off until September 6th after that.
Woo!
So yeah, looking forward to ending the semester and beginning another one and learning some other subjects and all that.
I'm getting ready to film.
How many more what, Brent? No, not
How many more semesters?
4 semesters, not years. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Planned 4 semesters. This one, and then next year 3 more, and then that's it.
Okay.
So whoever wants to can stick with us, until we're done, and hopefully we'll make more productions in that time. And
Yeah, I'd rather stick with Lakota. But
until the end of the 2022. Well, if you stick with me, Priscilla's gonna be with me hopefully until then.
Damn, she's gonna be with you? Oh man. Oh, that sucks. But go ahead, continue.
Hold on, I'm just bringing up the chat stuff. All right, guys. If you guys did do the fill in the blanks, you can pull them up now. We're just going to kind of go over it together. Anyone who wants to answer, go ahead and just answer, and we'll all decide if that's right or wrong. We're going to start with the camera movement. All right, so number 1, what do you guys think this camera movement is? What's the name of that camera movement?
Slide.
No. Slide would be sideways. But it's not, and they don't really call it that. They use a slider to do that movement, but they don't call the movement that.
Dolly in, dolly out.
Yep. It'd be the dolly in or dolly out. So if it's going backwards, dolly out. Goes forwards, dolly in. Number 2, what's the name of that one?
There's a few different names for that one, isn't there?
Yeah, there is.
Vertical.
It is vertical, but I don't think that's the name of it.
Pedestal?
I do, but yeah, I think that is one of the names for it. Pedestal. You also call it a jib. Heard it, jib. And I think there's another one, but I don't know what the name of it is. Something with an A, I think. All right. Number 3. What do you guys think that's one?
Slide.
I don't know if it's called that. I do know you do. It is. You could use like a slider to get that movement.
I thought you said slide is when it's sideways.
Yeah, for the slider.
He said pan.
Is what you use.
He said pan.
Yeah, it's either truck or track. So apparently truck and tracking is 2 different things.
Well, but that's only when, the motion is specifically, like trucking and tracking is specifically when you're following a subject though.
Yeah. True.
So just because you're going side to side doesn't mean you're following a subject.
True. Oh, so it might be, maybe slide is the name for that then.
I actually don't know. That was a guess.
No, I know. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, let me check. I do know I looked up trucking because I was trying to figure out what the difference is between that and the tracking.
Could it be pan?
No, pan is another
else.
one of those.
Yeah, if you're physically moving the camera from side to side, then they call it that. Let me see if I can look it up. Not panning. I don't know. You might
Yeah,
be
because
right.
tracking can go in multiple directions as long as it's
Right.
following the person.
I always heard trucking for the sideways, but that's only if it's following the people. So you're right. If it's not following a person, it's just moving side to side. It might be called something else.
But I feel like it could call pan as well. What is the difference with when it's panning?
So
It ain't
this is where
kinda-
the confusion comes from, is that like they just call it like in editing programs, they call it panning when you make the movements after you've already done the recording. And you just
Oh.
make the
So
movements
this thing
in
calls
editing.
it, boom is another one for the up and down. This one, the actual thing where I got this picture from, calls it trucking. But that's, like you said, that's if it's on a subject, I believe. Or wait, maybe not.
How would you just
Tracking or
Google?
trucking shot is one in which the camera is mounted on some kind of conveyance and films while moving through space. Tracking refers to the practice in studio filmmaking or film or wagon, blah, blah, blah. Trucking shot, a camera fastened to a tripod is moved evenly while keeping the object within the frame. In a trucking shot, the camera stays put. In a tracking shot, both the object and the camera move.
Oh, okay.
They're not talking about the direction.
Mm-mm.
So only when it's moving
Huh.
with the camera is considered trucking.
Wait, how does the camera stay put and it's a
I think what they mean is that the camera doesn't turn.
maybe.
Do you want me
I
to
don't
get the film
That's a
terms
good
book?
huh?
The book of film terms and stuff?
No, we
I
can move on,
feel-
but that is something to like keep in mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
add that as a note, and we'll probably research it at
Yeah, the
some
thing
point.
is, like in like layman's terms, pan is kind of just used when
Like sliding.
when things are moving in any direction, like the Ken Burns effect, essentially.
So it says a
I
tracking
mean, not
shot.
any
It says
direction.
a
Panning is more
tracking
just like,
shot.
No. I'm saying like not
Tracking.
in people who don't
It is
take
trucking.
film school terms.
Okay, so it is trucking. This thing says
Yeah.
tracking shot is any shot in which the camera physically moves sideways, forward, or backward through the scene with the subject. Tracking shot is
Forward or backward.
right. Well, tracking if you're tracking the subject, like you said, but trucking is a type of tracking shot in which the entire camera moves left or right along a track.
Oh, so
That
it's
gives
like
right
a
is the
some
sense.
type.
Yeah, actually, I was interpreting this whole time. I was interpreting the definition of the word track incorrectly because I thought that track was like follow, but they mean on a track.
yeah.
Well, it can be. I mean,
I
like
thought
as
No,
long
but
as
I
it's
think what
tracking
I
the
think that's what
subject,
it's saying.
that's
Like
what
it
it
keeps saying I mean, I don't know.
is.
That's what I'm saying. Do you want me to get the book? There's like a book that we have of like,
Nah.
Nah, it's gonna take too long.
Yeah.
That's just something like to keep in mind. I guess if
Right, but
anyone
sorry,
watches
I was
this in
just
the future
trying
and
to
wants
say-
comment. No,
I'm
definitely.
just trying to say that like for people who don't like go to film, because like you know how some words when not used in a scientific sense are used for other meanings, like
Yes.
the word pan just kind of generally gets used as just as a sliding motion, usually like in
Right.
Mhm.
any direction.
Right.
yeah. And then you learn like,
Well,
and then when you
not
study,
with
you learn that
camera.
it's the specific.
No,
yeah.
I'm just saying for people who like, it's not the technical definition. It's not the
Oh,
technical
like
definition, but
people
you
call
will
it
hear
that.
you will hear
Yeah.
people use that.
Regular
You will
people
hear
say
Yes,
you will
pan
hear people say
just for a
pan
movement.
to this, and it just means going from side to side.
Yeah.
Right.
Or
Pan
going
left,
or
pan
going
right.
diagonally.
Right.
Right.
Pan left, pan right. You know, like they'll say stuff like that. It's like
Right.
so number 4 could be considered pan then.
But that's why it's good to like try to learn the terms.
Like the
'cause
same
then
way
when
that
you're doing your
people say
shot
feeling
list, you can change
depressed doesn't necessarily mean clinical depression.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So it's
next question.
used wrong, but like,
Could 4 can be considered pan then? Because it's going from left to
Could
right.
what? Could what
Number
be?
4.
4? Yeah, so 4 is the
Number
technical
4 is
pan.
pan. Yeah.
Oh, it
four
is.
is panning. Yeah.
Yeah,
See, I got one at least.
but the point is that it's on a fixed point. The camera has to
Okay.
be on a fixed point while it turns.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like V said, it's like if you're just turning your head left and right without, physically.
Arden
stepping
said my
sideways.
connection is acting up, so it might take a minute.
Okay. But yeah, that's the difference between like the panning and trucker or track shots. Tracking and trucking shots actually move the camera side to side. A pan shot, the camera sits still, but the head swivels back and forth, left and right. Okay, well, it's number 5, guys. But thanks for bringing that up, Mel. That's a good topic to look into a little better.
Yeah, it's just, you're gonna hear it a lot.
Yeah,
Gotta be tilt, right? There gotta be tilt.
that's tilt. Yes. And then number 6.
That's easy. Roll.
Yep. All right. Any camera movements you guys didn't see on here? There's like 2 that I can think of. Well, 1 that I can think of mainly.
Arc.
Yeah, arcing shots is what I was thinking of. Arcing is when it looks like this, you guys. You keep the subject in the middle and you move the camera around it like it's orbiting that subject. Or you have the 360 arcing shot, which is the tracks all the way around it and the subject's in the center frame.
What about a zoom? They got multiple names, right? Zoom.
Zoom.
That's not. I mean, that's
It's
not
not
the
really a
movement
camera
of the
movement, but-
camera.
But it is movement within the frame.
Because if we're going for movement like within the lens, and there's also the tilt shift lens.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Any other movements you guys think of that wasn't in here? I know there's one. I don't know what the name
What
of it
about
is.
a
It might just be like an
360?
arcing shot, but I know it's like it goes from the front of the subject and it goes up into the air around the back of the subject, like it's going upside down.
Oh,
might
like
just
the
be arcing.
yeah, like in the Avengers, right? And it comes right back to them from the
Yeah, there was a shot. There was a shot in the Avengers, the first one, when they were all arguing, and it goes over their heads and upside down to show the scepter that was influencing like their
Mhm.
thoughts and emotions.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's called arcing as well. It might be, but that's another one I thought of. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Camera angles. So this is like the different angles where the camera would be and what the names of them are. This is you could have any of these types of camera movements starting or ending at these angles. Or somewhere in the middle. But all right, number 1.
close up. I mean mid shot.
No, that's a shot type. Camera angles is like the number 1 would be eye level.
Oh, that's what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, V almost eye level. But
Eye
it's just
level.
like that's the most commonly used if you don't want it to be stylistic or whatever. It's just like that's
Yeah.
the most common because that's where people see
It's
other
number
people
2 mid shot,
with their eyes.
half body or something like that. What do you call it?
It's another angle, so it'd be the same thing. It'd be something level.
Yeah, like medium shot, full shot, close up. Those are all shot sizes,
Yeah.
The shot type.
not angles.
Oh, okay. So what is this? A chest angle? I'm like
Shoulder level.
shoulder level.
Yeah. Number 3, following the same theme. It's just like where it's pointing at. No one knows what that's supposed to be pointing at.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
I do. It's knee level.
Yeah.
I was just giving people time.
Oops. And then again, there's one more that's
I
like
was
level.
saying that and
Well,
I was on
remember-
mute.
Which number are we at?
Number 4.
Number 4.
Okay,
Y'all can't
number
believe I was
4.
saying it. And then when Mel said it, I'm like, yo, I said it first. And I realized I was on mute.
Is that a low level shot?
It's a, well, I mean,
Ground
yeah, but it
level
has
shot?
another name.
Ground
Ground level,
Okay.
yeah.
Ground level. Oh, gotcha. Because low level would be sort of like at a diagonal, right?
I don't think so. I don't think it's no
Yeah,
low
I thought
level
that was
shot.
6.
Yeah. Yeah, low level is something else.
At an angle.
Number 6 is low angle, yeah. Low angle.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not low level, it's low angle.
Low angle.
I said low angle, didn't I?
no.
Oh, I
said
said
low
low level.
level.
Sorry.
It's
So number
okay.
5 would
I was
be
mixing up ground level and low angle.
It's okay.
That's why in my head.
but number 5 would be
A
High,
high
angle.
angle shot.
high angle, yep. High angle, and then the reverse of that is low angle. You have the camera coming from high or low. Number 7,
Sky angle.
V got number 7.
What is it? Overhead?
Overhead, yeah.
Oh,
Is
man.
it also called bird's eye view?
It is not, from what I can tell. Number 8 is what I would call a bird's eye view,
I called it an
Oh,
aerial
because it's so
shot.
fine.
which is also another way you can say it. Yeah, aerial shot, bird's eye view,
Bird's eye view. Right.
same thing. But bird's eye view on number 7, I've never heard it called. I mean, it's probably been called that, but overhead is what I've heard for like the exact term for it being exactly over the subject like that.
That makes sense.
Okay, aerial. I also saw one that I didn't see on here. Well, I didn't create it, but so this one I couldn't really show it in the 2D, but
I get it.
you guys get what this is, number 9?
Dutch angle.
Yeah. So that's whenever you have the camera tilted or you
Right.
could have the subject tilted, but it's tilted within the frame. And then any camera angles you guys can think of that aren't on here?
Well, I was wondering if since they have a name for a shot from a high angle but far away, like number 8, do they have a name for a low angle shot but far away?
I don't know about far away, but I do know we learned worm's eye view. It was like from a worm, like it'd be like
Oh,
basically the
yeah.
ground level looking up, and that's what they called like a worm's eye view.
That would be close up, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
Didn't
I
we
would
do like a-
think so.
No, a close up would be
No. She's saying like from a worm's eye view would be the camera close to the subject, and I'm like, yeah, probably.
Oh.
I'm not sure if they have a name for.
I don't know. I've
what-
seen a
what
view of
you're asking.
worm's eye view that's not that close.
Would it
It's
be
sort
an
of like
over the shoulder shot considered
the
part of this
person's
too?
for example, like there's a worm's eye view where the person's head is like on the top and just looking down. That's considered
Over
a
the
worm's
shoulder,
eye
Brent,
view.
would
But
be
how
a
far
shot high.
away would
more than it
how
would
far
be a-
away is the camera from what you're talking about?
Like the head is high up and the camera is low at a distance.
I mean, like, I always thought that worm's eye view was more like you're like the camera is on the ground. Like the idea, like you are a worm on the ground and you're looking up
at the
at
subject.
the
Yeah.
subject.
But that doesn't
Um,
necessarily mean
but
it's
like-
super close,
but
does
like,
it? Because it'll just
say-
look bigger.
Well, but then how do you? But then it
Well,
doesn't
my
feel like
question with
doesn't
it
feel like
being
a
far
worm then,
away would
does
just
it?
be how would you
Hmm.
make it look like it's like they're at a really higher angle, you know?
I mean, like if you're looking up at someone on a bridge or on the top of a building.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I believe over the shoulder is a shot type, not a angle.
Well, technically, it's not like.
Technically,
I
it's
mean,
not.
I
Why
mean,
would
it
it not be
is-
an angle? Why would it
well,
not
no,
be considered an angle? if
Because the
it's-
angle is like where the camera is in relation to the subject. So
Yeah,
just because there's
so, like,
another
so
subject in there
over-
doesn't mean that it changes the angle. You could have an
over the
eye level
shoulder
over the
shots,
shoulder.
Yes,
Or you
yes,
could
But
have
what
a
about
shoulder
what
level.
about the Dutch? I've seen them do that Dutch shot where they have like the other character.
Yeah, because because the angle is the Dutch angle, but the shot, well, you're doing it over the shoulder with a Dutch angle, or you could just do an eye level, or you could do whatever kind of angle with over the shoulder. if you have it at eye level, if you have it at the shoulder level, you could do a more of a high angle with still it having over the shoulder. Yeah.
And what, like, okay.
No,
know
I
was
want to
watching that video
answer.
and
I want
mentioned they say point of view.
You want to answer? Go ahead.
no, I want. I want to answer like what Brent is confused about. Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
well, I guess like I don't know. Could you ask like again like what the issue
No, I
is?
was confused about a POV shot. A POV shot is different. It's as if the camera were your eyes and you were looking at.
Oh, I thought we were talking about over the shoulder.
Yeah,
Oh, 'cause
yeah.
he was talking about
Brent said
POV
over the
shots.
shoulder.
Right.
Did you say POV as well? Yeah.
Yeah,
So like,
I did
so like
too.
a POV shot can be any one of these shots as well. If the POV shot is a child, then it's a low angle. If it's an adult looking at another adult, then it's eye level.
Right.
Oh, okay.
So the angle is more, yeah, the angle is more just about where, like what direction the camera is tilted mainly.
So let me ask you a question. When they're doing that with that scene where Dirty Harry and they're just showing the gun, would that be considered I guess number 3 was number 3. Number 3 would be the knee shot.
Knee level.
Like knee level, would that consider knee level, but it's kind of covering the gun holster?
Oh yeah, that was one thing that I think they're missing here is like hip level.
Right.
Yeah, that's
waist,
right.
or waist
Hip
level.
level. That's another one.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, I know I seen a shot where it was around.
Yeah, that's
the
a very
hip.
common angle.
Right.
All right. Yeah. Oh, sorry, V. I didn't see it. Oh, V
Yeah,
did say hip level right there.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on to the next thing. Shot types. So, what kind of shot type would this one be? Shot types are like the
Medium.
it's a little bit closer than that. It would be a medium close up.
Medium
Yeah.
close up.
Medium close up or
MCU.
MCU.
MCU. I hate when they say that. I be thinking about my bank.
What about this one? Number 2.
Is that a establishing shot?
They could be used for it in this.
Because it's so wide, you can see all the planes and everything.
What's that
Well,
adjective you used, Brent? Just
Yeah.
Establishing shot.
now? No, what's that adjective you used to describe the shot that you said
said
just
so.
a second ago?
It's covering all the planes.
You said it's so.
You said that shot is so.
It's a wide shot. Wide shot or a long shot. I think that's
Horizontal shot.
or what?
I'm just joking. Horizontal shot.
You actually sound like the doll. You can use that voice too.
Wide shot and long shot are used interchangeably, right?
Huh.
Extreme long shot,
can't
extreme
remember.
wide shot. I'm pretty sure they're the same thing. All right, what about this one, guys?
Extreme
Obviously,
close up.
everybody know that one.
Yeah. Extreme close up. Or ECU.
Extreme close up. Damn, V, you quick with the typing, man. Typing faster than I can speak.
Or all right, what about this one?
Full shot.
Full shot.
Yeah, got his whole body.
Yeah, when it goes from their head to their feet or below, maybe a little above like this, it's full shot.
They always making him look bigger
And
and
I guess
All right, what'd you
sometimes they
say?
call it full body shot too.
medium.
Medium.
Yeah.
Let's see what that one. Yeah, medium shot.
You had to make sure that was the medium one.
Yeah, because it does look sort of like it's close to the the area, but yeah.
But then I looked at covered his from his hip to his head, so
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
Yes,
Sorry.
B. Close up.
close up. Mm-hmm.
CS.
Damn, V, could I speak before you type?
What about this
So,
one?
Oh, that's like a
Cowboy.
wide.
It can be called cowboy. Yep, cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
And the other one is a medium full shot. So either one of those names works for this. See, yes, cowboy shot.
Cowboy.
Cowboy shot goes like right into their hips so that you can see like a little bit of their legs where their gun would be. And that's why it's called a cowboy shot.
Gotcha. I already know what that other one is. V, don't even say it. Don't type it because she's looking at halfway down the screen. V, you better stop typing.
All right, what you got?
Given your time.
What you
ready.
got, Brent?
What you mean?
If
Come on,
Brent's
let's say this
insisting
for the-
on answering
Come
every
on,
question,
Brent.
if
Brent, you
Brent's
gotta answer it.
insisting,
Answer it.
Establishing
if
shot.
Brent's
Fast, come on.
insisting on answering every
It can be
question
used
first,
as an establishing shot.
maybe
but
we should all just be really quiet
This
and
can't
let
be an
Brent answer
establishing shot?
first.
Establishing
these-
shot.
Any of these shots really could be. I mean, well, you wouldn't really use an extreme close-up for an establishing shot, but establishing shots can be a variety of different like variety of different
Sizes. Like,
sizes. Yes, thank you.
like an
Okay.
established shot is not a shot size. Oh, you muted yourself, Brent. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
I'm saying
V,
we should
go
prob-
ahead.
we should probably all just be really quiet, let Brent answer first, since he's saying that everyone's taken his time. So let's just let him answer first, and then everyone.
All right, V, what's your answer?
What she said, a wide
What
shot?
is that? An extreme what?
Yeah, I
I
don't.
said
What does EST stand for?
Extreme establishing shot? An
Uh,
option?
No, V. We just went over this.
An establishing shot can be many different kinds of sizes. Like it doesn't necessarily have to be this wide or that close up or whatever.
So, is it an extreme long shot?
Yeah, extreme long shot or extreme wide shot. Either way.
All right. You know, I did say extreme wide shot too.
But yeah, basically, an establishing shot is usually just like the first shot of your scene.
Right. It could be any type of shot, but it mostly they try to like.
So yeah,
Let you
like an
see
extreme
this.
wide
Yeah.
shot or extreme long shot is this when it's just like the characters are little in frame and you have most of, and that's usually why you said establishing shot, because they usually use these types of shots to show the surrounding area,
Oh, okay.
to establish like the
So
city.
that you know
they're
where
in.
they are.
Yeah, or like how far away they are from where they're trying to get or whatever. So
Right.
that's why these are usually used.
Okay.
But yeah, extreme wide shot, extreme long shot, cowboy shot, or a medium full shot is like right under their legs where their holster would be if they were holding a gun. If they holstered a gun, I mean. Close up is like usually like right under their chin, maybe a few inches below that, and like right above their head or a little bit below their head, like a little bit below the top of their head, like this.
Mhm.
Medium shot is about from waist up, like right above the waist up.
Oh yeah, it's also called a neutral shot sometimes
Is it?
because it's like, well, yeah, because it's like medium shot is kind of the neutral position, because that's the closest to how like we see things with our own eyes,
Okay.
like just when we're like looking at a person.
Full shot goes underneath their feet and above their head, establishes their full body. Extreme close up is, anything like just a piece of their face, or if you're looking at maybe their gun holster itself, it'd be an extreme close up on the gun holster to show you that they're unclasping it, getting ready to shoot. It can be like somebody's eyes, somebody's hair, somebody's nose, their mouth, something like that. Wide shot is a little bit closer in on the subject, but still has a lot of room on each side. And a medium close-up is about from the chest up to above their head. All right. Film documents. You guys ready? Oh, wait, you have a question about what, V? $35, $50 would be that match the shot. The lens?
Oh, you mean the top shot? Oh, I don't know.
Are you meaning like lenses?
I think she's saying like, would the medium shot be filmed on a 35 to 50 millimeter?
Oh, usually, yeah. Like I mean, not usually, but the most natural shots and stuff they usually use eye level, either a medium or a medium close up, and it's either a 35 or 50 millimeter lens. That's the most natural thing for like all the settings, and then you can adjust anything to make it look different after
Yeah,
that.
I was saying that the medium shot is the one that you see with your eyes, nor is often considered the neutral shot. I'm responding to V.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of things. She said, sorry, so confusing. Yeah, there's a lot of things that go into changing the look of it, which is why there's so much input on what kind of lens you're going to use before you shoot, and that kind of stuff, and why there's so much need to kind of establish what you're trying to go for, because there's so many different looks you can have just by changing some of the stuff in your camera, the lens, how far away you are from the subject. This background on her is blurry, but if you change the lens, you could have the whole background in view as well as her, or you could close down the aperture. You can just do a bunch of stuff to change how it looks.
Also, like the stuff that I'm saying, I'm mainly taking from the series that you guys linked called the Shot List, that has like 8 videos, all about different
They're really
all about
good.
different types of stuff. Yeah, and they're the ones that refer to these as shot sizes, which I think like makes it a lot less confusing, because then it's like, okay, over the shoulder isn't a size, POV
Right.
isn't a size.
Yeah, because then they also talk about like 2-shot, 3-shot, more characters you add in.
Yeah, there was not, you guys did not make a document for that.
I didn't know.
It's
there's
pretty
also, and then it's like if
straightforward.
you have a bunch of people, it's a group shot, and then the less however many characters you have in a shot could be a 5-shot, 6-shot. It just keeps going until you get to a point where you're like, screw numbering it. It's a group shot.
Or a crowd shot.
Yeah. All right, let's get on to the fill in the blanks, film forms and documents. What film form is this? Anybody want to guess? Anybody know it? Raphael, you've been quiet.
Yeah, sorry, I haven't responded much. I was answering your mom and Shante. There was a thing.
You want to guess what this is? Does anybody?
Storyboard.
Storyboard. Yay. All right, so what's it used for? Does anybody know? You want to guess? Talk about it? What's a storyboard for?
Brent, where did you go?
Mm-hmm.
Visual reference for film scenes. Yeah, that's pretty much a good succinct way of saying it. It's a visual reference for the film scenes, kind of like what you take your scene that you want to shoot and you make a visual representation of the shots you're going to use for that scene. And then obviously don't stick too closely to it if you do make your own shooting storyboard, but it's just a good foundation for what you're trying to go for. Number 2. If you guys want to read it, what is this document?
Could
Shot
it be?
What?
Shot list.
Read the document.
Oh, equipment checklist.
Yay, Brent. All right, what would that be used for?
I'm guessing it's used to log every piece of equipment that's needed for production, and just to keep track of it before and after you use it.
Yeah.
Yep.
10 points for Mel.
Yeah, you could use it to check in the stuff and bring it, make sure you have everything and you're bringing it to set, make sure you're bringing it all.
Did you read the rest of V's message? Oh, you did. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, just making sure. Sorry, it was a serious thing. I was
What
trying to
form is this,
bring back.
everybody? What form is
It literally says on the top.
this?
I
Location
just give
release.
people a few seconds to answer.
Maybe hide the name on top, honey.
Well, I can't, but I mean, the point isn't to, it's gonna have the name
Oh,
on the actual
right. To
bucket.
say what is it for? Location release form. Can I just answer that? I think I remember this.
All right.
Location.
Yeah, is Priscilla allowed to answer too?
Yeah, she didn't really go through this with me. I made it myself. So go ahead, honey.
Yeah, actually, I did go through it with you. Remember? Like you went through it with me a few weeks ago.
Did I? Okay.
Yeah. with
Oh, I
all the
showed you
questions.
them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to answer?
Oh gosh. Okay, so a location release form is to an agreement of the to book a location, and it has like the time, the time you're going to use it for.
We're just wanting to
Right?
know what it's for, like a very succinct version of
Oh, okay. Then yeah, it's for location purposes.
I would
Well.
say I wrote like for the owner of a location or property to give permission to a film crew to film at that
Yeah.
location.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
get the permission from them to use that location, and on the date you want to use it and all that.
Oh, that's what I
about
said.
this?
But you
Okay.
didn't say a sentence that he could write down.
Yeah. Thank you, man. What's this one, everybody?
It's a day-to-day.
Day out of days, or a DOD.
Day out of day out of day out of day.
And what would that be used for? We went over this like, I think 2 weeks ago. Anybody remember?
What did you say?
What
She
the
went
day out
through
of days is used for?
Yeah.
Did you say 2 weeks?
Yeah, we
Didn't we
went
go over this like 2
went
weeks
through
ago?
it.
That's what
Yeah.
you were saying. Okay.
Oh yeah, I was like, we went over this like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, dang. Now like V has to type in sentences, so it's going to take longer.
Does anybody want to guess?
I'll do it.
To keep track of, well, okay, go on.
No, go ahead. Because I was like, well, Mel knows everything, so I shouldn't even try.
No, I don't.
Keep
Like
track of-
if it hadn't been if I hadn't been able to read it, I would not have answered most of these.
If the name of it wasn't on the top.
To keep track of when actors are like available or scheduled to work during the days of production.
Yeah, so it's just a schedule of like the whole shooting schedule, and you figure out which days the characters will be needed, and that helps for when you're trying to hire actors. You can tell them you need them these days, and that they, you show them their schedule pretty much, and if they can work around that. So what would a sentence be easily? How many days?
I wrote to keep track of when actors are scheduled to work
Yeah.
during production days.
It's also for the budget for knowing the total days you need these characters. Because if you're paying everybody 100 a day, then you want to know like how many total days are they on set, Like
Yeah,
if-
budget. That's the word that I was thinking of when I was trying to write this.
All right, everybody, this one. Oh, V asked, the last person to leave set handles that chart, right? And the crew too. The day out of days is handled in pre-production before you hire on the actors usually, because they want to make sure they can tell them, like, hey, that we need them every Friday and Saturday. We need them for 3 weeks in a row, and then they're good, or whatever it is. Okay, so what's this one? Maybe I'll hide the name.
Releasing name and license and consent to use person in production VSAID.
Talent release form.
Oh, I got it. Talent release
Yep,
form.
and it's to use it like a VSAD. It's to get the name and likeness and consent of the person in production. Basically, the actor's telling you you can use their voice, the way they look, their images, whatever behind the scenes you captured of them on set or promotion, anything you want to use their image for this production, you can. You also need to make sure if you have crew that are in behind the scenes, they also sign a talent release form since they will be in that footage.
Yeah, if it's behind the scenes footage.
Or pictures. All right, what's this one, everybody?
Shot list.
Shot list. And what would that be used for?
Establishing all the shots required for the scene.
Yep. You can use this with or on its own. With the you can either use this with the storyboard or you can use it by itself. It's just establishing the shots you want to use for the scene.
You would also ideally want to arrange them in an order for shooting that would save you the most time.
If you're not using a shooting schedule, yeah.
Ah, yeah.
So well, let me just say listing. This form.
Continuity log.
Continuity.
Oh, I can't see, man. You
So
got it so
this
far on your
is
screen.
this is a document that is filled out by the script supervisor, correct?
Yes.
And it keeps track of continuity, such as the takes that were shot, the favorite ones of the director, like the ones that he thought were the best, what they were wearing, certain details, how many scenes they shot that day.
Yep.
Am I forgetting anything?
Just need succinct answers. That's good. All right, guys. What is this one?
Insurance.
What kind of insurance?
Liability. Insurance.
Liability.
What kind of form would this any
Oh,
kind?
V did say also a good point. It's very
Thanks,
helpful
Mel.
for editing and post production and stuff like that.
Oh, continuity logs. Yes.
Yep.
It goes to the editor so that they know which ones the director said were the best, and if there are any problems, they'll note it down. And the length of the actual take and stuff like that. They might call action and then they wait 20 seconds or 5 seconds before starting the actual scene. So then they might note that down and say, this
Scroll
is
back up. Let me see.
Yeah, so like length, they might put the actual length. It
Okay.
starts here. They said action and they started rolling cameras, but they didn't start the actual action until 20 seconds later, 40
Oh,
seconds
okay.
later, or whatever. So yeah.
Maybe they'd write timestamps there.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering. Can you do other things besides just having it like this? Pretty like
Yeah, there's different variations on these forms. This isn't like the overall, it's just a version that I found for
right.
this.
And
But
the
if you
script
guys go
supervisor.
to especially if you go to the Reddit and go back to like the continuity logs, there's a bunch of different versions, or you can just Google it. Continuity log.
Wouldn't the guy in charge of the slate be writing this down as well too?
No, he might get some of the information from the script supervisor or vice versa. They might get some information from them if one of them messes up somewhere, but he will probably have his own forms. But this is for the script supervisor because they're in charge of the continuity.
Okay.
So this form, it is called a COI. Certificate
Get up insurance.
of Insurance. If I can spell it right.
Okay, you don't make me feel bad anymore. Thanks.
Certificate of Insurance. What's it used for?
Wait,
It's used for extremely important to waiver, protect any unexpected incidents or claims against production.
Did
You're
you?
Googling it,
Where-
Brad?
No,
where are
he's
you
reading-
looking at that?
He's reading B's answer.
Yo, what are you talking
Ah.
about? Oh, V, you stole my idea. You see what I'm talking about,
That's
V?
extremely right
That
of
was on
everything.
me, V.
I wrote just to establish like how much the equipment or locations that are used in the production are insured for.
Yeah, like so this will be whatever whatever insurance you have for the production, it'll be on this form. And if you have equipment insurance or liability or whatever you have, this one says liability, but you'll have whatever insurance you get for the production. You'll print these out so that when you're going to locations and other things that you're trying to acquire for it, you can say they'll want to see your insurance to make sure that you do have it. So it's just it'll list whatever kind of insurance you have, like you said.
What does that mean?
What?
Oh, I'm just looking at the chat. I just don't know.
That's like, hey,
Production
girl.
insurance, what kind and how much?
That hand up is like, hey, girl.
Oh no, just what does she mean by I got time today?
All right, this
She
one doesn't
trying to
have a
beat me
name.
up. She got time to beat me up today. That's what that means.
She said, no, not at all. All right, what kind of form is this, everybody? This one doesn't have a name, so I need to figure it out.
Oh man, it don't have a name. It's not the crew core / Oh, this is a form that keeps track of the people well-being and their health.
No.
Is it
called-
a okay. Sorry, not gonna interrupt you. Or do you want me to interrupt you?
Yeah, sure. Crew and breakfast and lunch.
Is it a production schedule?
It's a shooting schedule. So yeah, Um,
Okay.
the shooting schedule is like, this is what there's going to be shot for the day. And, you know, we'll do these shots. And then after that, we'll take lunch. And then we'll do these shots. And then we'll have dinner or a wrap party. Or apparently they'll have a wrap party on this form. But you would just
Why
say, like,
have-
it's a wrap for the day. You know, this is when we begin. This is these shots.
We should have a
Whatever.
rap party.
Yeah, I was
agree.
just gonna say, are we gonna get a wrap party?
Possibly.
Is this form really necessary, or you could use the other form that they had before with the shooting schedule?
The call sheet takes parts from this. So you do need this still.
It seems like this like breaks down the whole day, you know.
It breaks down the whole day, and then it's like it's not just one day.
It's
the
not just
whole-
things that are happening like pertaining to the scene. It's also things that are happening
If
like,
you're gonna
during
like
lunch.
move locations, then they'll schedule that into the shooting schedule.
Oh,
That way you have
okay.
like the day's layout of what's happening. And
Gotcha.
kind of guess how long it's gonna take, and estimate that it's gonna be 8 hours or 10 hours or whatever, so that you try to stay within that schedule.
Oh, okay.
¿Está otro lado desse negócio?
All right, what's this one?
Oh man, the Tech Scout checklist.
That's the name of it. Good job.
How do you know?
But V was real slow on that one, boy.
All right, what's it used for?
I'm
Is it
using it's
used-
used for. Go ahead.
V says she's giving everybody else time, you see.
Oh, thank you, V. It's used for basically, scouting out the checklist, letting you know that you have everything together. parking
Scouting out a
spots,
checklist?
sound. Huh?
You said it's used for scouting out a checklist?
No, I didn't say that. I said
What?
it's used.
That is what you said.
No,
You did.
you misheard me.
Okay, what'd you
Okay.
say?
It's just a checklist to basically have all your equipment and tools that you need for the day.
No, that's the
The
equipment.
tech, the tech part I meant to say.
So, wait.
Ta, ta, ta.
V got it. For the location to make sure all things are needed prior to filming. So you go when you're location scouting, you might have multiple stages of location scouting, and one of them is a tech scout where you go to make sure that location can be used for the production's needs. If it needs a lot of power, there's a lot of lighting that has to happen. They need to make sure that it has enough power, and it has enough staging areas, bathrooms. There's
Neighborhood and permits.
if there's loud neighbors, you don't want to shoot there because if you need a permit to shoot there, all these different things that you want to parking, if there's enough parking for the whole crew, and if they can bring their big vans or their trucks in to unload and where
Yeah,
they
you
would
got a
go.
lot of parking by me. You guys would be good.
Okay, cool. But yeah, and that's just a thing. Surrounding areas, if there's something nearby that might be loud, like a train that goes by every so often, or maybe they need to know where the hospitals are and all that. You'll take
So I
that
got-
kind of checklist and check it out.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
So would you guys be coming out like a couple of days before the scout?
I mean, if we were to, we'd probably contact them first. Like, probably have a phone call with whoever we are renting from, or a Zoom call, and like a video call to see it through video or to have a conversation. And then we would probably, try to get there if we can a couple days early just to actually see the place. So there are no surprises.
Yeah. Might take like a week or something vacation.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple of days before. Okay.
Yeah,
So-
just so we don't have any last minute surprises. But
Right.
even before the couple days, we're still going to be contacting whoever we're renting from or getting the space, and having like a video call for him to show us maybe through video, or to like discuss
So you
how
want
we
me to
would
start?
be using it.
So you want me to start looking at some places, or also I meant to take pictures of the shed. So
Yeah, if you
guys
can take
have
pictures of the shed and send it to me, I'll check it out and then let you know. And then, I mean, if you would like to, I would say we could hold off on it, because even if we find a location, it's months from now. So, a lot of things could happen. So I
As
would
far
know.
as far as third party places, we probably wait until like we're 2 months to a month and a half before.
I like to be extra prepared. I'm
Yeah.
Right, but
like,
that
scouting.
does become a problem if if you do it too far in advance, especially depending on the pay and all that. So,
No, not paying nothing down, just scouting, for
right.
potential spots like.
Oh yeah, if you want to check out
Yeah,
different
sure.
locations and let us know, hey guys, there are these locations that we could probably use. We could like know that we have those possibilities. Or just saying that we've spoken to a few people who've worked on it, and they said that like depending on the production, smaller productions, you can probably check the location in
Because
advance still.
I might know some supers that I have to, let them know and see if they're gonna allow us to do it. 'Cause they got some real basements that look pretty creepy, dim lighting,
Oh,
it's
cool.
mosquitoes looking, fleas, and that kind of looking basement.
Yeah.
It's so what's frustrating is like we have to find that perfect balance, right? You can't do it too far back, but you also can't do it too in advance, because otherwise it might be last minute. So it's always a little scary finding that balance.
No, I don't think so, because if I just give a heads up, potentially, and then as time gets closer, like a month out, see if it's still available. If not, always have a backup. Like I like to have
Yeah.
at least 3-4
Yeah, no,
locations.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like Brent, if you would like to do that, that would be very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah,
We can't
I'm
pay
looking-
you, but we'll give you a
You don't-
big hug when we get there.
Why is everything about money with you, Priscilla? You gotta watch her, man.
Because human beings are human beings, man.
Coda, watch her, man. Keep an eye on her. She's all about that money, man.
I already know.
Uh-huh. If I was all about that money, honey, trust me.
All right, guys.
All right.
All right, let's move on. So what would this be? What form would this be? This one's really important.
Let me see. 1 second. Production
raised her
title
hand.
graphic.
Mel raised her hand.
Okay, go ahead, Mel.
Yep, it's the production title graphic form. No.
Is this the call sheet?
Yeah, this is the call sheet.
Yay, we got it.
It says
No, I
colon.
was
too.
reading what was on it in front so I could see because it was blurry. I was like, wait, is
I
that?
know, I was just teasing you.
Yeah.
It is blurry.
So what would the call sheet be used for?
You gotta open it up so I can see.
You can't see that?
It's real small, like
It-
Stella was saying.
Maybe if I
Like on I got it open in like Word and it's kind of blurry.
Zoom. Right.
you're right.
Yeah, it's actually quite blurry on the Word document.
So so basically a production sheet, is that what it's called? Gosh, I
No,
forgot the
call
name.
sheet.
What is a
Call
call
sheet.
sheet?
Thank you. So the call sheet is to give to the people that are working on the set, and it has the time and location, parking in some cases, emergency contacts. It has the time that we will begin shooting, each person, the contact information of each of the main people you need to talk to, like producers, assistant director, stuff like that. And it has the scenes that we'll be shooting that day. I think I'm forgetting like 2 other things.
Yep, so it shows like the weather and nearby hospitals and emergency places, people's contact information that you need to know. So if you need to know the producer's number and they're fine having it on that list, depending on who they are, they'll have it so that if you have any trouble or if anyone has any trouble, they contact those people. And then it has like what's going to be shot for the day and who's needed, which cast and crew are needed, and what time everybody's needed. General call time will be up top. Specific call time will be on the bottom for each individual role if you don't need a certain member of crew at the general call time. It also has when lunch and breakfast and whatever will be, if you have dinner, I guess. It'll also say the times of that. So it's kind of like a culmination of all these other forms that we were looking at, shooting schedules and day out of days. It's taking all these little things and combining them together.
There's a little bit of everything.
And it's given out each day. The day before you go to the next, the day before you go to your next production day, they should give you out one of these so that you know where to be and when for the next day. Next one. This one. Want to read it?
Sound report.
Sound report. What would that be used for? Any ideas?
Basically, getting a list of all the sound guys that we have on staff that day.
No.
Find out, they can, how many scenes the sound guys are going to be required to be in, how many takes he's going to be needing to use him for.
No. So it's
So
more-
I'm taking a guess because I don't remember everything. But basically, you're keeping track of the sound logs, right?
yeah.
Like each person's.
This is this would a sound log or sound report, same thing.
Yeah,
Is it
so
their
basically,
microphones?
we're keeping track of each person's mic. We're keeping track of each recording.
It's basically the same thing as continuity sheet, but for a sound person. If there's a sound problem, they'll write it down on here. They'll also write down which tracks are being used. So you'll have multiple tracks. You might have like a little tiny lav mic, which attaches to somebody's shirt, and that'll be track 1. And then you have a boom mic for track 2, and that's on another person or pointed towards another person. And you'd write down who they're pointed to and which tracks are being used. And then like if there's any problems and what scene and take you're on. for each thing. Then goes to post-production again, same thing, so they can look through it and see if it's if there's any issues, so they can just quickly find the best take. And also there's probably, I'm assuming there's communication between like them and the the script supervisor. If there are sound problems, they'll let the script supervisor know so that they can jot it down in their notes, stuff like that. Anyone know what this one is?
I know that there's like an official name for it, but I can't remember.
It's to original screenplay. Oh, it's a release form,
it's
right?
a release form. No, you're wrong. It's not a release form. It's a form that
rights to original
gives
screenplay.
rights to a screenplay that you cannot use this anywhere else.
Gosh, what's it?
Yeah, it's basically just to buy the screenplay from the person. Screenplay ownership form is sometimes called. It's also called a
right.
screenplay option agreement. Option agreement would be that they have the option to buy it at a later point. If you sign into some kind of agreement where they give you this amount of money. It'd be like if you're selling your car and somebody says, I'll pay you $500 if you don't sell it to anyone else while I see if I want it later. And then at the later point, when you guys agreed upon, they say whether they want it or not and pay you the full amount. Or you
since
get the money and you try to sell it to somebody else.
So since I'm also learning along with you guys, Coda's learning too, but he knows more than me. I actually didn't know a few of these, and so I'm learning at the same time you guys are. So that one I didn't know. That one got wrong.
Because those would technically be two different things. Screenplay option agreement would be the option to get it, and then the ownership form would be saying you're signing it, giving it, selling it to me. But I just kind of put it together because I didn't really feel like doing.
Great explanation, honey. Yeah, I didn't feel like doing it.
Well, I just couldn't find the other form. Like
No, I know.
online.
I'm messing with you. You know I'm messing with you.
agreeing with the screenwriter agreement. So yeah, you'll usually have these with like bigger productions. They'll sign an option agreement. If you're selling to a bigger production, they'll probably sign an option agreement with you. Try to get some actors and some directors on board. And if they do get some actors, they can say that they're attached to the project and then try to get financing. And if they do, then they actually buy it from you. If not, if these big actors they wanted for it don't come on or they can't get the financing, then they'll say, never mind, we don't want it. And you get to keep the money that they gave you to not sell it to anyone else during that time. Okay, anybody know what this one is?
Let me see. Okay.
Is it a freelance crew deal memo?
Oh, wow, yeah, it is.
Yes.
What would this one be for?
I wrote to outline the terms of employment for a freelance person to work in a production.
Pretty much, yeah. It's basically just outlining the terms and agreements that you and the conditions and requirements from the crew member and what they will be allowed and not allowed to do and what they'll be compensated with and all of that within this thing. It's basically an employment form when you sign them on, saying what they get, what they don't get, what they have rights to, what they don't. and how they'll be compensated and when. This one, anybody know it?
I'm gonna just take a wild guess.
All right.
Music license agreement.
Oh man, you got it. What would that be used for?
I'm making sure we got rights to some of these music that we're doing so we don't get sued.
Yes.
That is the best explanation, Brett. So we don't get our asses sued.
I didn't use the word ass. Take that out.
I know I'm being more. What's the word I'm looking
Just,
for?
no, just
Dang it, I
quit
forgot
while
the
you're
word.
ahead.
Yeah,
It's
I forgot the
okay.
word.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Not just
You know when
trailer,
you-
but also soundtrack.
Yeah,
Hell,
that's true.
that's true. Yeah.
That
But
is
you know,
true.
you know
Thank
when you forget the word in a different when you speak. Well, I guess
No.
that.
No.
Well,
I
that
don't know
happens
that.
for people that speak one language too. When you just forget the word, but you remember
No.
kind of what it means.
No, that don't happen to me.
Oh, okay.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
All right, what's this one?
It's an NDA.
Yes.
NDA, yes. And what would that
NDA.
be?
Also non-disclosure, also called non-disclosure agreement. Um, um,
What would a
So if
non-disclosure
you're-
agreement be for, everybody?
if you're part of the production, you're agreeing to not talk to anyone outside of the production about the production. You can't share images of the production. Like depending on how it's written, you might not even be able to disclose that you're even part of the production.
Yep. Exactly.
And like typically that lasts like until the official release, either of the movie or of promotional
Yeah.
material.
Or it could be a certain time after the release. They could say, 5 years after it's released, you can start talking about this project and what happened. And that is why we'll see sometimes when people have complaints about stuff, it'll be from something that's like seems like a long time ago because these kinds of contracts are in place and they can't talk about it. But it's also so that they don't reveal any secrets and twists or give out spoilers for the project itself.
Yeah, because sometimes the production doesn't even get made.
Yeah.
And then they just have to keep their mouth shut for years.
Or sometimes it's even for the production, for the safety of the crew, cast and crew, for example, like if it's a really big movie and they are trying to shoot in a secret location. So some people will try to get on the set if they find out that they're shooting in that place and it's like a really big movie and try to like get near the cast and it's like a famous.
These are also in place so that people can't sell to different, entertainment news articles, the information of what the movie's about or what's happening. Because you'll even like bigger productions will even have a secret name and nobody will know what that is. Instead of being called like Star Wars, they might call it, Blue Harvest was the first one that they nicknamed it so that nobody would know what it was.
Yeah. But I have actually heard of like actual cases of people like getting on set and mauling certain celebrities.
That was
Oh,
everything.
geez. Isn't it also true that like sometimes the actor is like asked to sign an NDA before they even know what the production is, if it's something big?
Yeah. Sometimes I've heard that.
But that is from what I've
Very
heard,
interesting.
it has to be with a director. Most of the time they accept it when it's a director that they really trust and like, or it's someone they know that's like, listen, this is a really good project. They're going to disclose the information to you, even if you don't want to be a part of it. You just sign it so that you can audition for it and you don't get to talk about it until it's released. So you're not forced to be a part of the production just because you signed an NDA. You can still say no and be like, oh, I don't think this is for me. But it's just so that the information of the movie itself doesn't get out.
Yeah, it's just that sometimes actors don't like it's off like when it's really big things, often actors don't know what they are auditioning for until they get the part.
Yeah, I have heard
Yeah.
of cases like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was everything for the fill in the blanks, you guys. So, how many of you guys got all of them right?
I did.
I wouldn't
I'm
have
sure.
gotten
I'm
them.
sure no one got all of them right. Even Code, I'm sure wouldn't have gotten everything
Hoda
right.
obviously did not get everything right because he was still searching for some of the answers. But me, Mel, and V, we got everything right.
Yep. You can't prove otherwise.
Yeah.
How can you
I
prove?
mean, it's not like we have actual
It's
video
not like we have this
recording.
chat where some of you guys are saying, "No, I didn't get that."
Exactly. So prove it. Prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
but it
thought
was
that
really
a-
cool.
a good way
I
to
didn't know a
kinda
few of these,
go
so
over
I
that.
learned a lot too. I'm remembering a lot because we learn so much. It's hard to remember every single thing, and obviously we're not expected to remember the name of every single freaking document. But hopefully, with time and experience, we learn and we memorize. Like at first, of course, it's a little harder, but the more we use it in our day to day, and the more we practice, and
Yeah,
the
I
more we-
will say that like because of participation in this class, like because I watched the video and then I did a storyboard, that was how I was able to memorize like all of the shot sizes.
Yeah.
yeah. Some things you only really learn like with the exercises and actually doing it.
Yeah,
You can
you
hear
put
it
the
like a
work in.
bunch.
You
Yeah,
can tell when you
especially
put
if
the
just
work
do
in.
it in different ways. You hear about it, then you do it, and then you look at it, and then you start seeing it. It makes it a lot easier.
So we actually were really excited that quite a few of you actually took the time to do the exercises,
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
it was so fun and cool. Honestly,
You
we
could tell
didn't
who did the
expect.
work too, though.
Yeah,
Guys like
totally.
Brent, you could tell he didn't do this homework.
Yeah,
No,
Brent-
Brent, for real, you were pretty dedicated this semester. You didn't do everything, but we could tell that you were passionate and you were trying and you were, you know.
Well, V, I would like to hear that from V. V, do you think I tried?
You can tell him was he mediocre? He was all right. You can say he was all right.
Be right back.
New phone who dis.
Yeah.
You got poor internet connection.
But yeah, some of the things I didn't have a list for because I wouldn't have even known them is the stuff about the lenses. Still stuff I'm learning about. If anyone remembers, like the lower the number, the wider the lens, and the higher the number, the more telephoto the lens. So if it's like a 200 millimeter, it's going to be a lot more telephoto than 16 millimeter will be really wide, almost fisheye.
Stuff I had the hardest time
And also you'll
memorizing
need
was
to
the different
be-
kinds of shots.
It's also showing that like you need to be a different distance away too.
Yeah, to get her in the same area of frame in the middle. The person on the right has to come closer or farther depending on what kind of lens it is. It also shows how ugly she looks if it's 16 millimeter.
So
If
for
it's up
me,
close-
remembering
if it's up
every
close,
single.
it's pretty ugly.
Nah, he's just joking. But like remembering every single shot for me was kind of hard. Like memorizing every single one and the names of not the shots, the angles. Sorry, the camera angles. Remembering every single camera angle. Shots were a little hard to remember too, but the camera
What's
angles for
crazy
me.
is when you start combining all this stuff, like the lens and how wide open the aperture is going to affect how shallow your depth of field is and how blurry
Yeah.
the background will be if you're focused on the subject, and then what kind of angle to do, and also what kind of shot type to have, and all these different things combined to make the image. And that's why there's so many different choices you can make to make the movie the way you want it to be. So that's why even if you have the same script, it could turn out vastly different depending on how you're going for it. Like even the script I wrote, some of you guys said it could go comedic, it could go dramatic, and it's the same script, but it would turn out completely different depending on how you're going about it.
And depending on who's writing it too.
That's
'cause each
why everybody
person-
has a unique version of a script, and like it can make, everyone can make a unique movie from the same script pretty much. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. One
Yeah.
of the exercises in the screenwriting group I hope to do next semester is give everyone like the same story pretty much, like the same outline, and see what you do with it. Like what if you change, if you make it a different genre, if you make it change little aspects here and there of the story. I'm really curious to see how that goes.
What would we wait?
Oh,
Like-
not you guys, the people of the whoever's in the screenwriting group next semester.
Ah,
Yeah, I think it'll be really fun to see people's different perspectives and what they can do and what they come up with. I think that's really cool.
But yeah, I mean, we've gone over quite a lot. Like, there's a lot, and this is just, you know, the first half of cinematography, because then the other half is lighting and that kind of thing. So we'll learn more about lighting and that stuff next semester. And then
I know,
color-
guys.
Color also goes into it at the end.
I know, guys. You're so enthusiastic and excited right now. Just calm down, okay? It'll be all right.
color's hard, man.
Color, yeah. Color grading and deciding what the final image is going to look like. It's going to look cold, and it's all these things that go into the emotion of the film too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You should look up Ken Burns effect
Ken
just to see
Burns.
what I was talking about before. Yeah, because like if you look at the definition of Ken Burns effect, it says it is a type of panning and zooming effect used in video production. So like when you hear, and like when you go into like the editing program, like Sony Vegas, like it'll say there's a section of it that says pan/crop. And when they say pan, they just mean like moving from one portion of the like footage to another.
Mm. And that's just like in the Sony Vegas editing.
It's in editing in general, they use the term pan, because like I first heard of the Ken Burns effect when I was using iMovie, like back in 2008. And it's just called the Ken Burns effect because that's what the documentarian Ken Burns used in a lot of his documentaries for like still images, like because it looks kind of boring when a still image is still. So instead of just showing a still image, he would move it. He would go like from the left to the right or from the bottom to the top,
Right.
and then they call that panning in like terms of editing.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I can see where the confusion comes in a lot. Man. But yeah, I think it's always better to know like specific terms, and if everybody could get on the same page, that would be way better to like figure out what everyone means. So it's just quick.
Yeah, I think probably like the best distinction would just be like, this is like panning. This is panning while you're actually filming the thing. It's not post-production.
Yeah. Yeah, does anybody have any questions or comments about anything we've gone over this semester? Gone over a lot. Kind of just scrolling through the Reddit.
Could you go
Oh, sorry.
over names of like different crew member roles? Because I forgot those.
I did in the first semester, but not this one. But I do have a document where I kind of explained what each member would do, at least in my set. There's a lot.
There's also the book. There's a book we can recommend you that we use a lot that basically explains every crew member's job and stuff like that, and it's pretty well explained. Like you just go to that specific. I think it's like an alphabetical order, isn't it?
Job functions.
Yeah, and it just says all of the job functions right there.
Oh, that's
So-
talking about mine, but yeah, I don't know. These are all the ones I've been writing down as we were learning them last semester and this semester. I was kind of going in. I think I sent it out to you. If you in one of the emails, I sent this out to everybody, I believe.
Oh yeah, you did.
I think what's confusing to me is like everything's abbreviated, so I just get everything confused with each other.
Like when they say DP.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember,
AC
like,
and
yeah.
first AC, second AC, first.
Yeah, what are those?
AC.
Can you tell me what those are again?
Assistant camera.
Okay.
So the first AC is the first assistant camera. They're the person right underneath the either the camera operator or the director of photography if they are the camera operator. But sometimes there could be a director of photography and then they have a camera operator underneath them. First assistant camera helps them out with focus.
And DP is director of photography.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Then second AC, second assistant camera. First AD, assistant director. Second AD, and you have a PA, production
Right.
assistant.
All these things will come in time too when you on set and actually working. That's why it's
Yeah.
really good for us to get to do this short where we're gonna do that way we could get familiar with. I guess when you're on set, maybe we could put name tags on everybody. We'll be like, hey, DP.
Yeah, I was thinking that. I think it would be a lot easier if we had like what everybody was and their name,
Right.
that you don't have to like be like who's John,
Right.
like
Well, and what Priscilla's doing standing over here in the corner, like what is her job?
Mm-hmm.
You look at her shirt and see, oh, she's the UPM, unit production manager.
Right.
Yeah. I'll be the one organizing all the boring paperwork no one wants to do.
Yeah, I think like for the abbreviations, they don't. Some of them have it. I know like ELT, they say that sometimes, electric lighting technician, which are like people who help out lighting, plugging in stuff and all that. But most of them, I think it's just like AC, AD, PA. I think the rest of them are actually given their names, their whole title. Actually, no, I've heard LP, line producer. But yeah. I don't know. Do you have any others that you know of that you don't know what they are? Arden?
Oh,
I said, oh, did you have any others that you didn't know what they were?
were
You can
there
think
different types of dolly shots, I believe? Or am I mistaking that for something else?
The dolly shot. So a dolly can be used to do a few different kind of shots. Like if it is tracking the person, it would be called the tracking shot. So you
Right.
could have like a dolly tracking shot, or you can track them with a steady cam or something like that.
Mhm.
And then you can also do what's called a trucking shot, which is from side to side, tracking the person or the subject. And then you can also do an arcing shot, which is kind of like the orbit, starts orbiting around the subject.
Okay.
And all of these can be used with arc shot, filmmaking. All of these could be a dolly if you want. Where's it at? Oh, no wonder. So there you go. Arc shot could be something like this. So you could have a dolly on, a round track around it. Pretty much you can set up the dolly track however you want. If you want it to be an S shape, if you want it to be a circle, if you want it to go straight, it's kind of just like train tracks. However you connect them, it's going to be however the camera moves, or however the track moves anyway. And then you can move the camera on top of that, making extra moves like panning while you're going across the track. But yeah, dollies are also, you can just use them to go in towards the character or out. And that's when the camera movement is dolly in, dolly out. It's because it's usually just going front or back when you're talking about camera movement.
Oh yeah, what was the name of that? Sorry if you just like went over this. I kind of got distracted. What was the name of that other shot that you said that you were thinking of, but you couldn't think of the name of? That like was
When that
part
like
of
starts
the
from the ground and
movement.
like goes up above
Oh
the
right,
head and around. It's kind of like art,
yeah.
but it goes vertically instead.
Maybe we should look that up.
I don't know what to look up. It's the thing.
Yeah, that's
Like
fair.
vertical
But you're
arc
thinking of
shot.
it because like it was in a material that you read, right?
Yeah, like no, I've seen it in a movie. Like it was, they were
But you
going.
don't
It was like
you don't
somebody's
remember
house.
reading
They were
about it?
getting ready for breakfast, and then I don't remember what movie it was, but they went over their heads and around to the other side to the ground, and it went through the floor to the other person's side, which was
Right, but it's not
different
something you
house.
read about, so you wouldn't be able to go look back at the materials.
I'm sure
Right.
It
it's
was a
probably on
Minority
there.
Report as well. I saw that shots like that Minority Report. And
No,
Oh,
that was
yeah.
a 360 or a 180. I'm pretty sure, right?
Minority Report. They were doing
Yeah,
some wild shots
the
like
one you're thinking about where it like circles around. I'm pretty sure that was either a 360 shot or
Honestly, I don't know. Yeah, it might be called an arcing shot. I think
Yeah.
like it's so rare though that it doesn't. Like you could just tell somebody like it's a vertical arc shot, and they'd be like,
Yeah,
"What's
it is
that?"
pretty rare because it's not easy to pull off. You have to have
Right.
this weird. You have to have this weird overhead track.
Yeah, and so it's like I guess if you kind of wanted, like, if you wanted to do something, I mean, it would be interesting, especially if you did like you're the basketball going into the hoop, something like that. It'd be cool looking, but
You
it's
type shot
I don't
and
think
they
it's
say
like used
basketball
so
shot.
often that they need a name for it, I guess.
or it could just be a mix of multiple shots as well. Like, and that's why it
I
doesn't
mean,
have
also some of these results are just like shot because you take a shot in basketball.
Yeah. Vertical shot. It's talking about the basketball shot. Vertical arc shot filmmaking.
Cinematography.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Should you just write a note for that one, and if we ever find it in the wild, keep
If we
it.
ever figure out what it's called, yeah.
All right. Well,
All right. But does
Yeah.
anybody else have any questions or comments?
there we go.
Anything we learned this semester?
I just remembered in Truman Show there was a roll shot because they did a camera from inside a pencil dispenser.
Oh
Or
yeah.
not a
They had to
dispenser,
roll
a
around.
sharpener.
Showing who, yeah. Pencil sharpener. Those are really interesting shots.
Again, I want to watch the behind the scenes of that at some point if I can.
Rule of thirds, continuity. We've gone over a ton this semester, honestly.
Oh yeah. So what would the continuity like supervisor be called? Is that what they're called?
Script supervisor.
But like in terms of continuity, like isn't there usually a person on set watching and making sure that they're not breaking continuity?
Yeah,
Script
that's
supervisor.
Oh, okay. Even though it doesn't have to do with the script.
They do. They begin in pre-production and then they're on set making sure the script is followed, and they're keeping track of the script in terms of the director being like, kick that line out, or this scene doesn't work, let's change it, or whatever. They keep track. They have the most up-to-date script because they're always writing down all the changes.
So they
for
begin the
production.
continuity, they begin their continuity in the script, like reading the script and checking it for continuity errors as well.
So
Like,
sometimes they'll check it for like, story time and be like, well, he just said he was mad at her. And then an hour later in the script time, he goes back to her and he loves her again. That doesn't, and they bring that up to the writer, and then the writer
Or
can
like
decide if they want to do it or
one
not.
example that he gave was, oh, you have a scene of, oh, hurry up, you need to wake up quickly. We're gonna have dinner with my parents, blah 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 blah, or we're gonna meet my parents, and then you cut to meeting their parents at nighttime. So it doesn't really make sense why she's rushing to wake them up or something like that. So it's just stuff like that that they will talk to the director or the writer about, like, hey, I noticed this error in continuity, like either time or story-wise, something in the story that doesn't seem to flow very well. And they said that just like the cinematographer, sometimes it's a battle that they will choose to fight for, or it's something that they'll just have to be like, okay, this is what the director wants. At the end of the day, we're going with what the director wants. We're not going to bring it up. Sometimes you bring it up and the director still says no. So you just have to accept that. But yeah, so their first job is reading the script through and through, making sure it makes sense continuity wise. And they also are the first ones to, from what we saw in a few videos, mark up the different sections, separate their script into eighths, and the different things that they will need, like wardrobe and effects and stuff like that, to keep track of continuity regarding that.
So would they also be doing like the smaller, more specific parts of continuity, like there's the mug is on the shelf, now it's
Yes.
on the table. Okay.
Yep. So
They would
on
be
set,
doing-
they like take pictures of the stuff within the frame. Usually, like they'll take a picture of the monitor on set so that they can see what is in frame, and then every different take, then shot, setup, they make sure that it stays the same and all the stuff stays in the same place.
One of
Script supervisor.
So I sent a video, it's actually in the WhatsApp, and it's basically, I think it's like in 5 parts, and it is a script supervisor talking about his job and all of the aspects of it. It's actually really good. I'm pretty sure I resent it this semester. So if
they
you want-
also are doing something called lining the script, and that's like if the take goes from line 1 of the first character's dialogue to the third character, to the third time the character talks, they'll make a line through the script of like how far that take went, because some takes will be only like a small line or like a close-up of somebody and then just a reaction shot, and they'll show like what part of the script that take is recording.
So there's also like they'll line it in different ways, like they'll do a squiggly line or a straight line. The video I sent in the WhatsApp explains it a lot better. And he goes over like every single job that he has and how it's just one person. It's insane.
If you look at that, it's kind of like showing what it would be like. So the first take, they do 24A, and it's a wide shot, WS. And so it's going from here all the way from the beginning down to wherever it ends. And then the next take they're doing 24B, it's a close up, and they're only doing this part because it's a dialogue, so you don't need a close up for the whole thing. And they show like what is needed. And then they said the squiggly lines is like when you can't see the character's mouth while they're talking, and a straight line is you can see them move their lips while they're talking. So, hey, Dad, Martin, you're looking at Martin's lips. You're not looking at Michelle in take 24B, because squiggly line shows that her dialogue is said, but it's not shown with her lips moving. So it's a way for like production and the editor to know what takes have what content and who it's aimed towards and all that, so that they can easily go in and adjust stuff.
One of them also said he takes pictures of each person on the day and the scene of shooting. Like they'll have a paper with the scene that they are shooting today in their wardrobe, and he will have pictures of that to keep track of that, of what they're wearing, how exactly their clothes were. He will be near the monitor and watching their lips and keeping track of continuity. They will time the scenes, not from when the camera starts to when the camera ends, but when the scene starts to when the scene ends.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier about the continuity log, they'll sometimes
I
write
love this. This is awesome.
There's a bunch of stuff that a script supervisor does. Yeah, it's crazy. Like, and they said like they're the only department that has one person, instead of, and they're like,
Yeah, there
crazy
really
that
should be more than one.
right.
Yeah.
I feel like there should be 2 at least, but yeah.
Yeah, so there's a video there. It has like a bald guy, and I think it's like 5 or 6 parts on the WhatsApp, and he explains everything, and it's really cool. It's a lot. And he even explains like what you need to be a script supervisor and every aspect of his job, from pre-production to post-production and everything. It's really good.
So you sent that to the WhatsApp?
Yeah. It's probably in like the linked videos when you go to the when you press up, you'll see like links, videos, and all that. And I think it's in the links. If you can't find it, you know.
Wait, what? Wait.
Like, you know, when you go on the WhatsApp and you go to the media studies group, you press up top. And when you press up top, it'll show the picture, media studies. It'll have the description, and underneath it will have media links and docs. Start
Yeah, I
messages,
had no idea
chat
that was
search.
there. I do not use WhatsApp that often.
Okay, honey, can I record my screen real quick?
Yeah, sure.
No. I see it now.
Oh,
It's
she's
a whole new world.
Okay. Yeah, so you can save messages that you're like, oh, this will be important later. I want to go back to this later. And you can star them, and your starred messages will be there. The media, the links and documents will be there. Chat search, like if you want to search a specific word and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's why I love WhatsApp.
Oh my gosh, really could have used that.
Yeah. You can also send audios that are more than a minute long. Thank you, everything else. And you can actually speed up the speed of the audios. I do that a lot with my older relatives that send me like 8-minute audios. I'll just speed it to like 1.5 speed and listen that way.
All right, but does anybody else have any questions or comments about
Oh, last thing. If you are referring to a specific conversation, you can also like swipe it sideways and you will respond to that thing. And so when you press up, it'll take you to that conversation. There's also that. It's really helpful.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Gosh.
There's a chat search feature.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
that too. But I mean, like, for example, let's say you're responding to the last message that the person sent.
Oh yeah, I have not. I see people doing that. I see people responding to like specific messages that someone else said, and I don't know how to do that.
So
you just
you'll
hold down on the message until it pops up and you say reply.
Hold and swipe right. Hold and swipe
I just
right.
hold down until it asks me.
Yeah,
if that's a reply.
I just needed to hold.
Oh, okay. There's the reply option and you can hold, but if you swipe right, it'll just automatically be on top for you to reply to. So that's quicker than.
Oh yeah, that is quick.
Yeah, it's quicker than holding and pressing reply.
This is now an ad for WhatsApp. They better pay us. Listen to all these features.
No, for real, I love WhatsApp. It's really good. If it wasn't owned by Facebook, I'd love it more.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, they bought it a while back.
That makes sense.
So,
Yeah, does anybody else have any questions or comments about anything we've gone over this semester? Today is the overview day.
guess not.
No?
All right, what was your favorite thing you learned this semester? There you go. Y'all better have a favorite.
You didn't tell us to prepare for that.
You can just
You
say.
asked me
guys
what my
company.
favorite anything is. I'm gonna like make a list. I'm gonna like compare them like 2 at a time.
What's the
Okay,
first
honey.
thing you can remember that you learned this semester? What's the first thing that pops in your head? There has to be
What?
something that popped in your head right then. What?
No.
Apparently, what was learning the
I'm going
mysteries of
through my
WhatsApp.
notes.
That was her favorite thing this
Dee
semester.
said daily production report. Is that what you mean by DPR?
All forms and movie watching.
Okay, nice.
Yay. Well, we know who's going
I
to be
was
our
happy
supervisor.
to learn what ISO was.
Cool. I had a lot of fun shooting the sad attempts at mimicking scenes. No, I mean,
What?
I said I had a really fun time.
Brent, you're muted. Brent in the chat.
I didn't cut you off. See, you muted yourself. And you cut me off all the time too.
No, no, I'm answering Lakota. He said, "What do you?"
Oh,
you
that's your
remember?"
favorite part.
Yes.
His favorite part was cutting him off.
So apparently most people's favorite parts are just watching movies for free.
Yeah, I do agree. Like, I like picking them apart and discussing like the certain aspects. And next semester we'll do 1 for sound and 2 for lighting. So I think that'll be interesting.
Ooh, good sound, right?
Yeah, known for its good sound, not like crappy sound. That would be
Right. And this is like
I
doing
mean,
this
if
class.
it has, sorry, if it has
Yeah.
crappy sound, it's not known.
What do you
Right.
mean, Arden?
Hey,
Like
so
having-
would A Quiet Place count as a movie for sound?
Oh gosh,
Yes.
yeah,
'Cause-
absolutely.
Of course.
Yeah, because
100%.
No.
They had to
'Cause
be
it relies-
super specific.
They sound was on point.
Oh yeah,
It
the
reminds-
commentary during the movies is pretty good.
Ooh,
Arden
Babadook
says
was
the
also really
commentary
good
during
for
the movies is
sound.
pretty good too.
The Babadook, I think.
Yeah, that was very good for sound. It did some interesting things, like to be unnerving, like when she like lightly pats her pats her son on the back or like rubs his shoulder, you hear this like scratch sound.
Isn't the Babadook a horror movie?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Hey,
but
it's okay.
but it like it has, like, it's not cheesy.
Gotcha. No, it's fine. I just was like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, I agree, Raphael.
I watched it in one of our
I do like watching the movies.
when I took a college class. We
I
watched.
do like watching the movies based on like what we are learning. Like last semester we watched it for the story because we were script writing. And then this semester we're watching it for the cinematography and the acting. And the next semester we'll watch it for the sound and the lighting. And I like watching it like because I don't really
Last semester we
when
also
I'm watching
watched it
movies,
for
I don't really
dialogue.
pay attention to as much of those specific details. Story I'm always paying attention to, but other than that, like the camera work and stuff like that, I never really paid that much close attention to until we started learning about it this semester.
I pay attention to
Yeah.
dialogue when it's really bad. I cringe really hard.
Yeah, I was also just spending like a lot of time thinking about like what the like people on set must be going through in order to pull that stuff off.
Right.
Right.
You know what I like also about this semester? I really enjoyed the script writing class, what you guys were doing. You know, watching other people's projects, just bouncing off ideas, tips, on each other. Like, I would like to continue with that. And also allow me to look at movies. It also allowed me to look at movies from a different perspective. I'm so critical of movies now that it's so ridiculous. Like if a movie sound or the cinematography is off, I'm so disgusted by it.
I actually cannot watch any movie. I cannot watch any movie ever again and actually enjoy it. So thank you guys.
I feel
Now
the
my
same
standards
way.
are just sky high, and
Artie,
nothing
You're
will
welcome.
ever,
It's
nothing
true.
will
There is like
ever
a red pill effect
satiate my
where you can't go
standards.
back.
Right. Like I used to love
Welcome.
watching the B movies until this class. Like
No, I still
No,
watch
now you'll love
movies.
watching the
I
B
still-
movies even more. You'll be like, oh man, they didn't even do this right.
No, I will
it's
admit that
it's
it
like
makes
being a sorry, go on. Mm.
I was just gonna say for me, the thing that ruined for me that made it a lot more noticeable was camera shots. Like a really bad camera shot or like a
Oh
really
gosh,
good
like that show we watched on Netflix.
Gosh, that was so
awful.
how did that show get made? God, that was so
What was that
terrible.
show called? It was something about
Um,
it was some space thing.
It was a freaking
In
gosh,
Netflix.
we only watched it because it had the chick from Battlestar Galactica in it. We watched like one episode and we just couldn't. It was a gosh, what was it? Inside I don't effing know. Like what? I'm trying to remember.
Hmm?
I don't know what it was called, but they had such horrible cameras.
It was so bad. Let me see if I can find it.
About
But it was so
what?
bad. Basically,
it was on Netflix. It was some show we started watching, and we were just like, "Oh man, this is-
There are
sci-fi
some
show.
bad shows on there. Oh, the I-Land is one of the worst shows I've ever seen.
I never heard of it."
Judging by that name alone, yeah,
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that
sounds
sounds
stupid.
No,
Sounds
I
like-
couldn't get through. I couldn't get through like 2 episodes. Like the acting was so bad and the writing.
Oh, it was the Travelers? No, not the Travelers. It was
Travelers was pretty decent.
No, the Travelers wasn't more.
Travelers we're not done yet. We watched like 1 episode. Shush.
Oh, I've only
I don't
seen.
know.
I've actually
not
only
sure.
seen like 8 episodes.
I don't know. There's like way too many we're trying to kick stuff out of our list so we can get rid of
It was
our
something in
It didn't keep
space,
my
and the
interest.
people were like going to discover a new, like an alien artifact landed on Earth, and they were traveling to go.
Oh, is it the one where it's like a ship full of teenagers?
Yeah,
Oh my God, they're not
it was like
teenagers,
first
they're-
contact. They were trying to like go make first contact with the aliens.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the one. That's the one my family always rags on. That
It's
like
so-
my mom and my
it's
sister
so
tried to
bad.
watch
It's
it. It's
the future
It
of
was really
humanity.
bad.
The future of humanity is at stake, and we're gonna put these stupid 20-something-year-olds that talk like teenagers and act like teenagers who have a mutiny every 10 minutes in charge. Like, and the acting is so. Oh, I'm sorry to whoever
that's the
wrote.
thing.
I'm
Like
sorry to whoever
astronauts
shot
are
that shit.
astronauts are like specifically selected for their ability to be calm
Yes,
in like
yes.
dangerous situations.
They have to go.
There's
through,
not
like,
going to be melodrama.
Yes, they have to go through like a psych eval, and they have to like make sure that they're not claustrophobic. It's like so much. And then the worst part for me was the camera angles. Like they would just do these weird zooms that would make me so like, why are you doing this?
It was like you could tell
so
the person was
bad.
holding a camera, and that was a huge problem.
No, not even that. It was just clunky. It was bad.
That's
It
what I'm
was
saying. Like you could tell that
unnecessary.
somebody was holding a camera and running forward. It was bad.
The zoom was so
Oh,
Is this like a
unnecessary.
new show?
I have no idea, but
You remember what the name of it is, Mel?
it was
No,
renewed
I
for
mean,
a
was it like the? I can't remember if it was the ARQ one or if I keep getting it mixed up with that.
Let me
one.
look at my Google search. It's somewhere. Let me see.
Like I know it when I saw it because they keep advertising it as like a ship that's like shaped like an infinity or like a Mobius strip. But sorry, I did want to say to kind of what Arden was saying earlier, like, and then like it's not just that you're gonna like notice things that are mediocre even more. Like I would say that no matter how good the production is, once you learn more about what goes into it, you do lose some of that like magic of watching a movie, because it's like being a magician, you know, like when you're a magician, you can't enjoy a magic show the same way that people who don't know how the tricks work do.
Yeah. Yeah, that is.
And that's why I like.
Okay.
That's why I think Hugo is so. Because like one of the earliest filmmakers was a former magician, Méliès.
Wow,
Because it's
even
kind of part
Netflix.
of that. It's like fooling people because part of putting a movie together is fooling people into thinking that you're seeing a continuous thing when you're not.
Right.
Even Netflix made the movie disappear, honey. I can't even find it in our watch.
Well, it's not a movie; it's a show.
The show, yeah, sorry, show. But yeah, it's gone. But I don't know, for me, I feel like the only thing I notice now more is like when the script is clunky and the pacing, like I notice that a lot more, and I notice bad camera angles or like really sloppy transitions like that. I notice a lot more. But as far as like the story and the special effects, like for example, like The Princess Bride or Star Wars, like I've always known that it's kind of not the best. It's kind of old, but it doesn't remove the charm for me because I still really enjoy those movies.
Well, yeah, like Star Wars using animatronics instead of CGI. Like,
Yeah, I've always
obviously,
known.
obviously their lips are not moving to the words that they're speaking, but we don't care.
Right.
Yeah, so there's just some things that I can suspend my for example, like Coda doesn't really like supernatural shows or fantasy and whatever. Well, Well,
I like fantasy, just not crappy fantasy.
yeah, you don't. See, I read a lot. I read a lot of YA in my teens, so I'm like my standards are pretty low for certain shows, and so when I watch them, I tend to
I
give
didn't.
more of a chance because I'm like, hey, this could become interesting story wise. Yes, the writing isn't the best, but the story is compelling enough to where it's not as uncomfortable for me. But if the acting is really bad and the writing is like abysmal and the story isn't that interesting to me, then no, I can't. But there are some things that I can enjoy. Like I can enjoy some cheesy, I love action movies. Like I know that it's not realistic that a guy is going to like be shooting at a bunch of guys and they're going to come at him one at a time. Like I know that that's stupid, and I know
I get so annoyed.
Yeah, I mean, like some movies the equivalent of junk food, and like junk food isn't like it's not like bad. Like we enjoy it. It's very tasty, and it's not trying to be more than it is.
yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I think that's the only genre I do not like. It's very hard for me to find. I mean, this one might also be because like my half uncle, like every time he comes to visit us, he's like, let's watch a movie. I found this really good movie. And it's like he has the shittiest taste I've ever met of like anybody's movie.
So many people
Like,
Wait, what type
in
of
terms
movie?
of like he thinks his movie taste is good kind of thing. It's not like, it's not like saying like
That
I
sounds
like
so
shitty
annoying.
movies. It's like, oh, I like this
Yeah, right.
movie, but it's like every single movie is like those like dime a dozen like action movies, and like the ones you cannot tell the difference between.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
Just like so
think
it's just boring.
We all have a family
Like-
member like that.
Like it's like
my mom.
like I don't get like how I can be watching an action movie and it's like I'm bored. It just seems like the opposite.
Oh, totally.
Of, like, what's supposed to
No, yeah.
happen.
Well, I
My
mean, there's a
mom's
good.
like that with
there,
dramas. Like I cannot cry. Like she will watch. She'll be like, Priscilla, this movie is so good. Watch the movie. It's so amazing. And
Like,
then
I can think of a good recently, because I don't watch a whole lot of movies compared to probably everyone else in this class, but I can think of a good action movie because it kept me on the edge of my seat, and it's probably Baby Driver.
Oh yeah, that movie is really good.
Because it's like, oh, I'm actually watching this and I'm actually like on the edge of my seat, and I feel like that's supposed to be achieved with action.
Okay, I thought
Right.
I thought you said Boss Baby, and I was like,
No.
Oh, no.
I was like, what?
No,
Oh,
Baby
man.
Driver is a really good
Guys. No, but there is like a there is like a science behind like when action movies are too much action that it whips back around into being not interesting, because it's basically like Michael Bay falls into this trap a lot where basically he like oversaturates the screen with things so that you don't know what you're supposed to be looking at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I will say
Well,
the
it's
first
also the
Transformers
case of
movie is
like
still
if you
my
have,
favorite.
it's like
Still my
also the
favorite.
same thing with like fight and stuff. If the fight goes on for too long, people start to lose interest.
Yeah, 'cause
totally.
Why they
Well,
usually have,
and like again, and that's the thing. It's so that good action movies actually they need low points. They need like calm.
like calm
scenes.
breaks and where it's
It-
just nothing happening.
Arden, I do
Otherwise,
think
you're gonna
you will
burn out
like-
real fast.
I do think you will like the first and fourth Mission Impossible movies. Those are like really compelling story wise.
Mhm.
Second one is really very like it's very not great. The third one is very forgettable. I don't remember it at all. But the first one and the fourth one are my favorites, and they do have a storyline. So much so that I got really like annoyed when they made a 5 and a 6, because I was like 4 ended it so well.
Mhm.
So
Have you seen the
Can
Matrix?
can I suggest an idea of like our like next something to implement maybe? Can we
Yeah,
have
sure.
like instead of like a regular movie night, can we have like a really like watching bad movies?
Ooh, I don't know.
Honey, a lot of people have asked for that. I feel
Only if only if you pick
it's just
apart.
not
Only if
my,
you pick
not
apart
my
what makes them
forte.
bad.
so
I
we
don't
can
like watching bad
It'd be
movies.
like at the end of the semester.
if we want
Okay,
to
maybe, yeah. Yeah, maybe.
have an end of
Like on the
semester.
Wednesdays or something, we could watch some horrible
Yeah.
movie Wednesday.
Although I think like
Hey,
what
And
what
the
kind of
best part
movie-
about that is you can go to YouTube free, and I'm sure we can find a whole bunch of lists of movies
that is
that can fall under that category.
yeah. But I will ask this question. By bad movie, do you mean a movie that is just so bad it's universally bad? Or do you or do you mean like a bad movie that's like wasn't trying to be bad? Because The Room I feel like is way too easy. Like
I know it's
super-
way too.
The
I
Room
know it's way
wasn't
too
trying to be
easy.
bad.
I know it's way too easy. I don't actually. Yeah, I don't know if the director genuinely thinks it's bad. I have a feeling that he thinks it's good.
No, he was totally genuine about it. The
Oh
Room,
yeah,
that's
what are you
makes
meaning?
The
Are you
Room
meaning
so
like
appealing.
Shark? But are you meaning like Sharknado that's like knows it's bad? Or are you meaning
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Not like
Are you-
Sharknado. That's
like Mission
made-
Impossible
made
2, which
crap.
doesn't try to be bad but is? Or
It's-
something.
Yeah, I mean more on the line of like movies that are unintentionally bad.
Okay.
But at the same time, I kind of want to show you guys that like really crappy B horror movie.
So she just wants an excuse to torture us with a crappy horror movie. That's what.
Because
she
like there's
No,
a
but
level,
honestly,
there's a
it would be
level
a
of
good learning
bad.
experience, and it would be a good way to discuss what not to do.
I could just like like any movie
It's an indie
that
film, so
would
we
be
could be like,
considered
okay.
a good learning experience. Like if it's just like crap after crap, then maybe not. Like I think with The
But,
Room
like,
there
and
are
there are-
too many. I think with The Room there are so many mistakes in that movie because the entire movie is just like just a series of mistakes that I think it would actually take like 12 hours to like discuss
Dissect it.
all the mistakes.
Although I do think
To
that
Totally.
dissect it, we'd be pausing constantly and be like, oh,
although I do think to the point to play devil's advocate, I do think that The Room would be a very interesting learning experience because not only was it a $1 million budget movie, millions of dollars budget movie, but it was actually the guy thought he did a good job.
Yeah, no, we should watch The Room and then watch The Disaster Artist right after because that goes into like what was going
Yes.
on behind the scenes.
I haven't seen The Disaster
My
Artist.
popular request.
all right, maybe
Yes,
maybe next
please,
semester we'll
please.
do that. We'll implement it on a Wednesday or something, or Tuesday, and watch movie night.
They want-
But it's
That-
got to be The Room
I
first.
can't do Tuesdays.
Okay, maybe.
No,
Wednesday.
when they wanted end of the semester though.
I mean, I'm just saying like when it would work because next semester was also kind of packed, but
It would have to be a Wednesday. So what would it be like the first Wednesday of the new semester? It's like as a gift to all of you per popular request, we'll be watching the worst movie ever.
maybe on the weeks off too. We could be like, guys, these 2 Thursdays in a row, watching The Room and then The Room.
Are we watching? Can I gotta ask. I gotta be that one person to ask. Are we gonna watch like the full version, or are we gonna watch like the censored YouTube version?
Oh,
I didn't
right.
know there was a YouTube version.
I didn't know. I've never seen it. I've seen parts of it, and I know to stay away.
There's like in
So I
the
didn't
first
know
20
that there were
I think in
different
the
versions.
I think in
But
the
see-
first
but see-
20 or 30 minutes,
That's
there's
why
like
you need the reward of the Disaster Artist because you will appreciate the Disaster Artist so much more when you have seen the original source
Okay,
material.
so how about this? 1 week we watch The Room. The next week we watch The Disaster Artist.
Well,
Would that
where would
work?
I find the non? Like, do you have to pay for the non YouTube version?
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure you can just like obtain it through means.
No.
Oh my goodness, these people wanting us to commit crimes.
get
and
it from
talk
the
about
Fire
on our
Stick.
Actual recording.
These people
Amazon
wanting
Fire
to
Stick.
create independent movies by ripping off other people's independent movies.
I don't know if we can call it.
We
I don't know
okay.
if we
I
can
don't
call
really,
it
I don't
The
know what
Room.
you stand
But you
for.
won't
don't
know
know
what's
if we can
going.
call
You
The
won't
Room.
know anything that's going on because in the first like 20 minutes, I think there's like the first 20 or 30 minutes, there's like 4 sex scenes,
What?
4 separate. Yeah,
No,
Maybe
they
I
don't
only watched
show,
The abbreviated version too.
that's how he gets the movie going.
it's just,
that's
like,
that's
it's-
basically how he gets the movie going,
That
and that's how
sounds
he
very
patches.
interesting.
That's how he
I'm-
patches things
I
together.
really don't
Okay,
want
right,
to
but-
judge. I
right,
really
but
don't want
correct
to
me if I'm
judge
wrong.
this writer, but he sounds a bit like a perv. Just saying.
I
No,
like
no,
he's a
that.
very strange
he's-
man. Like
He's strange, like he he was in a car accident, and I think it like damaged his brain.
Oh, then I can't speak ill of.
Are you serious? I
Well,
thought he was
he
just
has,
like an
like-
alien.
He has scars on his face. No, if you watch The Disaster Artist, he said, he doesn't say.
Are you
he
sure
got
he
brain
just said
damage,
that
but he does
later
talk
when
about that he
people
got
were
in a
giving
car
him crap
accident.
about the movie?
No.
Are you sure he didn't
No,
just use that as an
no, it wasn't written by him. It was written by his best friend who was in the production with him. That's why it's
That's
so
even
good,
worse. So
because-
okay, the
no,
director has
because
an
it's
excuse. The
because
writer
he
does
has- What are you talking about?
because like the director has brain damage, but the writer
No.
doesn't.
The disaster. I'm saying the book that The Disaster Artist was based off of. Like after The Room was made, the best friend who worked on him with the production wrote a book about what it was like to make that film and be part of that film, and then that got made into a movie by James Franco. And like his friend is like a normal person. He's like a normal, sane person. So
That's what I'm saying. His friend was the one who wrote the script.
no, his friend.
No, his friend wrote the book
Disaster
about
Artist.
it.
Oh,
About what it was like to be on that disaster set.
I got confused. But just to be clear, the one who directed The Disaster Artist also wrote. The Room
He
also wrote
directed
it, right?
He wrote it. He paid for everything.
The guy who wrote The Room.
Yes. Yeah. He acted in it. He's the main character. He directed it. He wrote the script. He bought everything because he has.
He probably
like, an
did the
insane amount of
sound
money.
mixing too.
Okay.
I'm just
Probably,
making an
yeah.
educated guess.
So are we allowed to make fun of it? I feel like it's okay.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's gotten like more. He's gotten more like of a good sport about it over the years.
Okay. I just want to make sure we don't get canceled 10 years from now. Okay.
No, never.
Brain damage or something. I don't,
Just watch The Disaster Artist.
Okay.
You'll understand. No, I've seen him like in. Because I've been to midnight shows where he's like shown up, but like he doesn't stay for the movie, because like he still doesn't like to be around while people laugh at it, but like
I feel sorry for the guy. Why'd you have to tell me that?
What?
Now I feel sorry for the guy. Why'd you have to tell me that? I'm actually kind of sorry.
You think that he would be like liking that people are trashing his movie? Like, come on.
I'm talking about the brain damage
really
thing.
inappropriate stuff.
Genuinely.
Yes, you feel sorry for him, but also he has done like pretty inappropriate stuff, like not professional.
To be fair,
like,
serial killers also have a lot of serial killers also have brain damage, and they're still, So okay, not to compare. Oh God, no. I just mean like.
Now she's calling the guy who made The Room a serial killer.
I'm just saying.
Wait, Mel, you mean to tell me that you have met Tommy Wiseau, or you've just been in the same?
Yeah, I met him. He's I've been to midnight shows where he was there, and like I got like a copy of the script and he signed it.
Oh,
That's pretty cool.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, because it is. It is like inspiring, like that someone did all of this, like
and it
out
was
of
this
passion.
bad, yes.
and it's
And
bad,
it
but
got,
it is a cult movie. It is in itself
no
a cult
publicity
movie.
is bad publicity. That's what they say.
No, for real. Like you made yourself infamous. Like at the end of the day, you still made a movie that everyone talked about and that everyone talks about to this day still,
and people enjoy, but for different reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Not for the usual reasons.
Yeah, just to be clear, like no one's saying no one's saying it's not confirmed that he actually has brain damage. I just strongly believe that since he was in a car accident and he like got some like scars on his face and stuff, I strongly believe that is why his personality is very unusual.
Gotcha. But just to be clear on my previous comment, I was not comparing him to a serial killer. I just mean that
honey, you don't have to worry about it.
I just want to make sure for posterity, okay, that I just mean that certain levels of brain damage affect more than others, and that doesn't,
And it's very dicey. It's a very dicey thing to determine whether or not that makes you no longer accountable for your actions.
Exactly. Thank you, Mel. Your beautiful words that are so much better than whatever crap would have come out of my mouth. Thank you. Yes, Mel said exactly what I was thinking. That's what I mean. People of the future, do not cancel me. Okay.
It's real. I don't think he's ever, I don't think like his notoriety and stuff, I don't think it's ever going to come back around to people.
I just want to be
defending
careful,
him.
Mel. You'd never know, okay? I say a lot of stupid things without thinking. I just
Is
want
this
to
even going to be, I mean, are these videos even going to be around in 10 years?
They might.
I hope
Someone
so.
might pick them up. Like, I
Is
don't know.
YouTube even going to be around in 10 years?
Maybe
I would
maybe
assume.
maybe one day we'll be super famous and people will come back and look at our material and they'll be like, man, this girl talks a lot
They'll be
of stupid.
listening to every
Annoying.
single word that happens. Like, man,
Yeah.
people talk a lot.
And they'll really, and they might really hate me. So I just want to, make sure that
But, like,
I'm not.
I mean, whenever you get famous, just unlist these videos.
Someone will find them and blackmail us with them, I'm sure.
Every single word.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, I
don't know. I think it would be cool if we did get famous to leave it up just so people can see like everything.
But it's also kind of
in order,
scary
sequential.
throughout this study group in the past few months. My opinions have grown and changed so much over so many things. And I feel like I've just gotten a new view of things and matured in a way about certain perspectives. And I don't disagree with some things I might have said and stuff like that. So it is kind of scary to look back and be like, oh crap, I said that about this. Like a good example of that would probably be like the union thing. I did not mean to like trash unions in the conversation, but I just meant that like there are complications with the Hollywood thing and how it can be harder for independent creators to like get into the market because of it. But listening back, it seemed like I was completely against it. And today I'm like, crap, I wish I would have gone back and, maybe worded myself differently.
So what you're saying is I need to get you to sign a talent release form so you don't take all these videos down later.
No, I'm just saying that sometimes it's scary, like how much we change and evolve as humans, and having everything we say and think and talk about be recorded, not everything, but like a lot of what we're talking about and thinking and opinions be recorded is a little scary sometimes.
I mean, just to do with the films. I don't know.
It really wasn't meant to be like this. It was not meant to be that you can go back and just see what someone said 15 years ago.
Right.
Like society's really changed with
this and we change as humans and evolve as humans. So like it's hard. It's scary. It's just scary for me because I'm like I'm very impulsive when I speak sometimes, and I'd like.
Yeah, but you haven't said anything that's like bad. Like I would take away something.
It really depends on who you're talking to.
Exactly.
And it depends on the future, I guess. How PC everybody gets.
Yeah, so it's a little scary. But I hope that we can look back on this one day and be like, man, this is the beginning of something really cool. I really, really hope that. And yeah, I'll be working towards it.
This is where it started.
Yeah, and hopefully some of you are with us in that journey. That'll be really cool.
I actually do have I do have similar thoughts often, and that's why I don't show my face. So I'm like, if I ever am like, I don't want if I ever make something and then people get passionate about it, and I know what it's like to be passionate about it, that you want to learn about the people who make it. I want there to be very little evidence of my existence.
Yeah. And even if there is, they can never be completely sure. So, because they only have like part of your name and no pictures. No, it's you. Even your voice.
Hey, Lakota.
Yeah.
Go back to the what's it called?
Matrix?
You're talking through a fan again.
Yeah, I'm always talking through a fan. Like go back to the Matrix. Yeah, are those all cameras?
Yeah. So what they did was they kind of like took pictures in sequence.
Wait, like a
claymation
claymation thing?
No, like it's a person. They just had all the cameras.
No, I know it's a person, but like each instead of video, it's a bunch of shots.
Yeah, because they didn't have highly advanced cameras that could do a bunch of frames per second like that.
Right,
the
like
shot they
slow
wanted.
motion.
So they just had a bunch of cameras instead take a shot in sequence, match them all
It
together.
sounds crazy expensive.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, I'm assuming it was not cheap. Plus, look at that green screen room with the different
Well,
pads. and everything.
worth it.
Whole
There's
room
like
of
so many memes about it now.
Yeah, that shot was super crazy for its day.
Yeah, but it's iconic now.
Oh yeah,
So
slows down and him
we might-
dodging all the bullets.
we'll get back to you guys about like when exactly we'll watch The Room and then The Disaster Artist, because we do have a lot to work on for next semester. And next week, Coda will be on a work trip, and we'll be out of town. And then the week after that, we'll be with family. So it's going to be a little crazy, but we'll get back to you and we'll finally shut you guys up about
That sounds like a personal problem.
it.
What
Well-
you going on vacation got to do in your business trip got to do with anything?
We won't be going just on vacation, but we'll be working on next semester. Like we'll
Oh,
be,
okay.
yeah. And Coda will be working, then we'll be working on next semester. We'll have like 5 days of vacation, really. Talking to family.
All
and
you
stuff.
need is like 2, really.
Man, we like to have some breaks.
Yeah, we don't get.
Listen.
I get that
Successful
I get
people-
that you want to work constantly, but
Successful people don't take breaks. They get 4 hours of sleep. It's only 24 hours in a day. We ain't getting any younger
We
here.
get 4 to 6 hours too, and we still don't have time for everything.
Exactly.
all
That's
right,
what
but
I'm
watching
talking
a
about.
bad movie isn't gonna change whether we get famous or not.
Like that's not a matter of success. There's something funny that we're trying to match into our itinerary. So, yeah. So next semester, I will be blocking my face and possibly using a voice modulator. Be safe.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
I vet om man bara vill se. I also wish I hadn't sworn as much in these stupid audios because I'm trying to get better at that and work on that. It's a very bad habit I have. And going back and hearing myself swear is really bad.
Have you been going back and watching these?
A few.
Huh, okay. I
Just
haven't watched one.
Work on my behavioral skills and communication skills a little bit.
I don't know if I can
Clap it
handle
up,
hearing
clap
my
it
own
up.
voice.
I can't. I hate it. But I want to get better
It's so
at like,
weird.
abbreviating my
applause.
thoughts.
Those are gonna
and-
sound different than you feel like you should sound.
You
I'm
do.
gonna
Like,
just
voice in a recording sounds completely different.
Just
In
like,
my
wow, my voice sounds like that. Oh, wow. I hear it way better than that, or something.
My voice is so weird and just weird as opposed to my voice in real life. Like it's still weird and raspy and not the
That's
best voice in
true.
the world. But
That's
it
true.
sounds very squeaky in audio for some reason.
I totally agree.
Well, that sounds like it might be a microphone problem.
Nah,
No,
it's like
no,
that
it's
in
her voice.
everything.
You just crack yourself up, don't you?
Man, you laugh like my dad.
I could be your father
Yeah,
too.
that is a very dad laugh.
Right, my dad laughs like
That's when a joke is so sweet you don't want to laugh too loud to wake up
A
everybody
dad laugh
else.
from a dad joke.
Yes.
okay, now his mic just broke right there. that Mariah Carey yell.
Yeah, that's why she messed up her throat.
Well, you
Can't even
can
sing no more with all that high.
you actually can, but you have to do it in like a specific right way. Same thing with screamers when it comes to like screamer rock or whatever. You have to actually train your voice for it. And if you don't do it right, like the proper way, yeah, you can break your voice. I used to
How hard would you guys punch this guy if he was doing this and this happened?
With the camera, right? I'm like,
Yeah,
what's he doing?
boss.
What is happening?
Smash.
And he dropped
Oh.
it.
Is that where my camera is?
Oh.
Oh no, he's getting fired off a set. I'm sorry.
Fired.
Yeah.
I was freaking.
Yeah.
I'd throw him
Hope-
somewhere and
I'm
leave him.
saying,
What is he
it
trying to
sucks.
do?
He's just seeing
Yeah, like,
like,
what
oh
if
look,
he-
I can do this.
Isn't that what
Like,
insurance is for?
listen, look at his
That
camera
better
tricks.
be your camera,
He
dude.
lets
that
go
you're
and it's just like,
putting right
oh crap.
there. That better be your camera.
And nobody
Wouldn't that
tries to
be
catch
covered
it.
though?
Yeah, I think covered
Well,
under
it's not just the
equipment.
money. Like there might be footage
mean,
on
not
that.
necessarily, because if
Plus, that could stop a day of production if that's the camera they have and they need another
Hey,
one.
Yeah.
that
Yeah, that's
not,
true. But I
was
think
gonna
the footage could probably be recovered.
but
Yeah, but
however,
also,
guys,
yeah.
that might not
Yeah,
be covered
probably.
by insurance, because that is maluse right there. That is reckless use right
Being
there.
a dumbass.
Well, if it's his,
So-
if it's the productions, then it's not their fault that they're.
I could see Priscilla doing something like that with her camera.
No, but for real, like, what? Are you kidding me? I don't even. You knew how much I take care of my technology. You have no idea. But basically, like, if this is a
That's you,
production,
Lakota?
That's really wow.
No.
but if
Oh, it
this
looks
is
like
what
you, yo.
a production
does.
company, an insurance company could very well claim that, oh, this was being recorded. In other words, you had the opportunity to stop it and you didn't. You just kept recording and let the person recklessly use the camera and
We'll
risk.
definitely let you.
I mean, they could possibly, but I feel like they would cover that. Whatever that
Yeah.
production was, it looks like it's a big production. They probably have a big,
insurance,
a
big
crazy,
budget.
coverage deal on it. And if
Yeah.
not, it's a big production, so they probably could afford it.
I'm just
but
saying that
I'm sure-
depending on the time of year, these insurance companies can become more or less
Yeah.
strict
When in-
with their policies and with their enforcements. Like if they're getting many claims or if they're getting less claims, they will go after them more than others.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like it's not necessarily the production's fault that one of their crew members was being an idiot.
Right. They'll just take it out of his pay.
Oh, that's
But yeah. Anyone else
Thank
have
you,
any
thank you.
questions or comments for the semester? Or
Thank
anything
you, our
that
lawyer.
you'd like implemented, like Arden was saying?
Say again?
Before we
Repeat.
say good night.
I didn't hear that.
Does anybody else have any questions or comments about anything that we've learned this semester or anything you'd like to see implemented next time? Like Arden was bringing up the movies, the bad movies.
No. Have a good night.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks for filling out the forms. You guys know what you answered. You know what you would have known. If you guys want to delve deeper into it, you know what your answers were and what you got wrong or right. And so it's on you.
I'm confident.
Appreciate it, everybody.
Just send me a copy of those answers that you plugged in, and I'll be ready for next
Next
quiz.
Nah, next quiz will be about lights.
It don't matter. It's like you said, we memorize. So in the future, just like Aiden was saying, so we can memorize these stuff and have it.
Yeah. And that way when you're directing something or you're acting in something or whatever role you have, you know what's going
Yes.
on and you can tell.
Right, and I can reflect on my notes, pull up my notes, and be like, "Hold on, let me answer that question, director."
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Have a good one.
All
Yeah,
right,
you
good
Good
night.
night.